Velocity morning. 10th house is the house of the Korean man karma. All right. So when it comes to the Korean man karma, this is basically the house of your one of the houses of your self effort, right? But not just mere self effort, right? This is something that you feel like you absolutely must make happen, right? People want to say house of career. You can attach the career here, but it's not always going to translate. This is pretty much something that you have a deep level passion behind. Not only do you have the passion behind it, but you also have the works, like the continuous works. You know what I'm saying? Your self effort and your dedication to climbing a particular mountain or to assuming a particular role in the world or becoming like a master at something, mastery, self mastery, right? That's really the significations of the 10th house. Self fathering, fathering yourself, mastering yourself. You know what I'm saying? Making yourself do the hard things and compelling yourself to do the hard levels of tapasya, discipline in relation to, whatever the 10th house significations are, right? And when it comes to the the lords of the 10th house, right? So let's say Mars is the lord of the 10th house, right? Mars is the lord of the 10th house. You're pretty much going to want to be a warrior, right? Or you're going to want to be a strong person of some sort, right? You're going to want to have bodily power. You're going to want to be able to fight. You're going to want to be able to defend yourself. A large theme of your life is going to have to deal with combating, right? Action, taking activity, and even taking possession of certain things, because Mars deals with taking possession, right, of territories, right, real estate and things like that and whatnot. So Mars as the 10th lord, the person is very much so interested and focused on becoming a Martian type personality, right? So you can see bodybuilders sometimes with this shit, you know what I'm saying? Not even just bodybuilders, but like fighters, martial artists, policemen, people in the military, you know what I'm saying? And it's not just if Mars is the 10th lord. It can also be if Mars is placed in the 10th or influencing the 10th house in some way, right? Get into it, right? And this is for all the planets. You got Sun in the 10th house, or Sun is the 10th lord. Sun is the 10th lord. The person is definitely very much so adamant about having a high reputation, concerned about the reputation. You know what I'm saying? You can say egotistical to a certain degree, but they're very much so uh, focused on being reputable, being respectable, being seen in a light or air of authority, having control over, their dominion, their domicile, their kingdom, or whatever you want to call it, being able to call shots, you know what I'm saying, being able to be at the higher levels of the hierarchy, having some type of rank, and also potentially, with Sun being the 10th Lord, this is somebody who would like to call the shots in society and help society move forward in some type of way, right? Sun is the 10th Lord. You know what I'm saying? It could represent somebody who's connected to the government, wants to work in the government, some type of way, connected to folks who deal with government affairs, or, you know what I'm saying, yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera. So Moon is the 10th Lord, right? Moon is the 10th Lord. This can be somebody who possibly wants to feed the public, or bring nourishment to the public. You know what I'm saying? Bring, whether it's not even just food, whether if it's just music or art, right? You know what I'm saying? Just want to bring good things to the public. Want to bring bliss and peace of mind to the public. You know what I'm saying? Want to be, also can want to be rich, can want to have a high level of comfort within the lifestyle whenever Moon is the 10th Lord and whatnot, right? Can recognize, or it can represent somebody who's a social worker, somebody who, who's out in the field, actively trying to make sure that, the people got enough blankets. So, they got the shit that they need in order to have peaceable existence or whatnot, right? So Sun, Moon, I did Sun, Moon, Mars. Mercury is the 10th Lord. If Mercury is the 10th Lord, this can represent somebody who is multi-talented. You know what I'm saying? Has many different hustles. Is very sharp-minded. Is very much so about uh You know what I'm saying? Maintaining clarity and communication, communicating a lot, networking a lot. You know what I'm saying? Having, different groups or different friendships and versatile friendships, many different people that they can call on and rely on with many different skill sets. And this person themselves, they're multi talented as well, very intelligent. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Mercury as a 10th lord, right, can also show somebody who they might have a sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? Might be a little deceptive to a certain degree, but very much so able to make a lot of motherfucking money. Very much so sharp minded. Very much so uh got that childlike activeness that Mercury has about it, right? Okay, so what else? Very much so about networking too. With Mercury as a 10th lord. What happened? Venus. Venus is the 10th lord. Venus is the 10th lord. This is going to connect the person to wanting to have a career, possibly within the media, within the arts of some sort. You know what I'm saying? I think Drake is a Leo ascendant. Venus is his 10th lord. And it's in the third house, whatever. I just wanted to connect that and whatnot. But yeah, so somebody who wants to be in the media, somebody who wants to be in the arts, somebody who wants to be seen as one who brings, a certain level of, I guess you could say, suaveness or pleasurability or attractiveness, magnetism to the collective and whatnot, right? Venus as the 10th lord, this could also translate to dealing or engaging in sexual arts or arts of pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Food, even tantra. You know what I'm saying? The deeper occult arts and different shaktis and things like that, whatnot, right? Stripping. You feel me? Things like that. Venus. What else? Shit. I did Mars. Jupiter as the 10th lord. Jupiter as the 10th lord. This can definitely represent somebody who has the mentality of trying to be a guru or somebody who's trying to be a teacher or a preacher. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who pretty much is a very dharmic individual and very much so enamored by the search for truth, the search for wisdom, or whatever, right? Now, the softer planets don't necessarily do well as the 10th lord to a certain degree, in my opinion, because the softer planets, the 10th lord is about work, strenuous work, right? And the softer planets, you know what I'm saying, they're pretty much just trying to enjoy it most of the time. So I mean, it still translates regardless of where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Especially depending upon the rest of the chart of the individual. But when it comes to like Jupiter, Venus, Moon being the 10th lord, you know what I'm saying? They pretty much rest in the 10th house things or whatnot. It's not going to take it as far as it possibly could have if the 10th floor was Saturn or Mars or the Sun, even, right? So 10th floor is Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? This person is pretty much going to always like have a zest for understanding, search for truth. You know what I'm saying? I always have a zest for different sciences, you know what I'm saying? Understandings of reality. How do these things come together? Priestliness, you know what I'm saying? Occult science, spiritual systems or whatever, like breaking it down and understanding the root of it. And yeah, very much so like that type of mentality or whatever, right? Saturn as the 10th Lord. This is somebody who is oftentimes wanting to get really rich and wanting to really leave like who this is somebody who is willing to do the intense amounts of work that it would take in order to manifest whatever kingdom or whatever ladder or whatever the fuck, whatever it is, within that life. But not only does Saturn as the 10th lord willing to do the work, Saturn as the 10th lord, it also wants to do social work too. You know what I'm saying? It also wants to stabilize the society or bring stabilization and evolution to the society and whatnot, right? Saturn as the 10th lord, you know what I'm saying? The broken aspects, the impoverished people, the lower life forms and all that. Saturn is very much so concerned with uplifting these things and bringing a karmic balance between, those on high and those on low and whatnot, right? Saturn as the 10th lord is very serious. You could be found in sectors like